What is better, a fixed or removable implant case? After all, we're dentists. So if one option must be perfect and the other option has to stink. My name is Paul, Dr. Nacho Goodman. I would like to take some time to share with you my thoughts, my experience, what we all can learn about fixed and removable implant cases, because I have helped human beings that are chewing probably right now with both fixed and removable implant cases, and they both love those cases. But as dentists, as the chefs that are making these cases for our patients, there's things that we should be aware of in the planning process. So, in streamlining the implant restorative process, part of our objectives and discussion points are identifying common challenges in treatment planning and maintaining fixed versus removable implant overdentures. And I really like videos just like this. And I encourage you to make videos just like this, where you can take a simple photo and create training videos for your team, maybe awareness videos for patients. Because right here, let's orient ourselves. We're looking at a fixed implant case on the top, an upper arch fixed implant case. This is a patient that I saw at my dental office and referred to the awesome prosthodontist, Dr. Rob Slough, who also works in our office, but this case was completed at one of his other offices. He's a surgical prosthodontist. And even though I have a training in these cases and have completed these cases, I referred this patient to his office for this case because they were set up with a lab and all the things to do full arch immediate fixed implant cases. The case on the bottom is a removable overdenture. This is actually a case where we had initially planned for fixed and we had switched gears and turned this into a removable case. This patient loves his case. So let's talk about things to think about when planning full arch implant cases. When patients' teeth are hopeless and have failed, and instead of saying hopeless and failed, how about saying it's time to replace your teeth? It's time for them to retire. How about being a little more positive and a little bit less weird dentist negative? Because if someone's had teeth for 60, 70 years, imagine driving a car for that time. If it's time to replace it, let's admire the service those teeth have done instead of make the patients feel bad and say your teeth are hopeless and their prognosis is terrible and they failed. So I say, hey, it's time for your teeth to retire. Lucky we have options to replace your teeth. So talking about full arch fixed cases, what are the advantages of full arch fixed cases? They stay in all the time. So I highlight that to the patient. They stay in all the time. Now, from a clinical perspective, as dentists in planning these cases, and everyone should know this, whether you're placing the implants or restoring the implants, is we're going to need space for full arch fixed cases. Now, with the changes in materials, when I started doing these cases, it was most common to do an acrylic teeth and a titanium bar. At the time, there was also metal bars, titanium bar and acrylic teeth. And we had space requirements of 15 millimeters. So oftentimes, if there was not enough space for a full arch fixed case, that's when sometimes removable became an alternative option. Now, with zirconia cases, so now a titanium bar and acrylic teeth are an option. Also, zirconia is an option. That's something you should discuss with your dental lab. They have pros and cons. Full arch fixed cases can be done with a titanium bar and acrylic teeth. Acrylic teeth are super repairable, but they also wear down. So there's sometimes when you do heads up menus, which is, an informed consent, acrylic teeth are easy to repair, but wear more easily. So maybe you're replacing those teeth more frequently than a zirconia full arch fixed case, commonly known as a hybrid. But is the strength of a zirconia transmitting too powerful forces to the implant? I'm not saying that it is, just something to be aware of. So full arch fixed cases, think about the space requirements. Work this up well from the beginning. Look at all of this from the beginning. Do all of the things. This is when you can actually remember some of the dental school things in doing a wax up, mounting the case, having your lab do help you with identifying the amount of space. This is not possible to do just by looking at the patient. So your lab is a resource there. Working with your lab is super important. Now let's talk about removable cases. Removable cases I talk about are snap in and out teeth that you can clean under the sink. Hey, Mr. Smith, we can make you teeth that stay in all the time. Only the dentist can remove them. We also have cases that are removable You can snap them in and out and clean them under the sink. Patients like those cases too. What are some of the advantages, disadvantages, pros, and cons? So, for removable cases, traditionally the space required has been less. In this X-ray you see here, locators are attachments that can hold a removable overdenture, a U-shaped palatless overdenture in place. And some of the advantages of locator style attachments, there's other ones out there, is their low profile allows you to manage space in a way where if you don't have enough space, there's not as much required. Now, it doesn't mean you can still have space challenges with removable cases. So important to know when you place the implants, do you need to remove bones? So golden nacho tip, whether you're placing them or not, do you need to remove bone prior to placing implants to get more space? That is an easy way to burn your nachos. Not removing bone prior to placing an implant. It could be for a single tooth. It could be for a full arch fixed case, can cause you many challenges later prosthetically. So it's up to you and the person placing the implant and your dental lab to work as a team. So one person builds the teeth, one person places the implant, and the lab makes a case. Sometimes the person building the teeth and placing the implants are the same person. It's like Dr. Slough, our surgical prosthodontist. So you have to have a discussion with yourself. Hi, self, is there enough space here? Let's talk about some maintenance issues, some clinical maintenance issues. Fixed cases, to me, I describe them to patients like a fancy sports car. Some of those fancy sports cars, you cannot get oil changes anywhere. They need certain parts and pieces. So full arch fixed cases require meticulous maintenance, meticulous maintenance. I've had challenges with patients who've had a full arch fixed case for almost a decade, and we need to convert it to a removable because they were not maintaining it well. So I have learned over the years, while I give the full menu every time, what happens if I do nothing? Thanks, Dr. John Coyce. What happens if you do nothing? Traditional dentures, dentures without implants are for smiling, not chewing. That's a good tip to say to patients. Hey, traditional dentures without implants, they move around a lot. They're for smiling. You can smile. But if you go to eat like a hoagie at your granddaughter's birthday party, whenever we're allowed to have those again, it's likely that they're not going to chew the food well. So we talk about option of doing nothing, traditional dentures, then we talk about fixed and removable. The maintenance of removable tends to be easier. Why? Fairly easy to clean your teeth underneath the sink. Easier than using a water pick and all different appliances around the implants. So it doesn't mean that somebody who's not good at maintaining their teeth shouldn't get a fixed case. It's up to them. I've had patients who've had fancy sports cars and maintain them just like they maintain their fixed case like their fancy sports car. I've had people who've invested in fixed cases and they start to go sideways. They start to have challenges, and we've had to transition them from fixed to removable. My goal in doing this is to share with you ways to help you communicate with patients, plan cases, communicate with your surgeon, and have a clinical understanding of the difference between these cases. So the removable cases, the processed acrylic overdenture piece is fairly inexpensive to maintain versus the fixed zirconia or the titanium bar and acrylic teeth. So that may be something you want to make the patient aware of. I had a patient who had his case paid for by his parents, and then he was moving away and he was in his 50s. And I thought to myself, I better review with him, because if he has to get a new zirconia hybrid 10 years from now, that expense 10 years from now could easily be $20,000. If the denture snaps in half, that expense might be $3,000 to $4,000. Now, these aren't my exact fees, just general estimates. So that's a critical part of understanding fixed versus removable overdentures. So I really am enjoying this course, streamlining the implant restorative process. Making videos like this are great because you can consume them at any time. Make 5 to 15-minute videos for training your team, training yourself. You can learn on the go, learn on the run. If I can help you in any way, just reach out to me at dentalnachos.com. If you have any implant questions, you can also email me at salsa@dentalnachos.com. Nachos, the real nachos, truly one of my favorite things. Dental implants, which I call nachos, I call tacos teeth. Teeth tacos are also one of my favorite things. So the more we share, the more we care, the better dentistry world we can all build together.